Hello everyone, and welcome to this video. This will be a weekly video, hopefully every Friday, where I talk about English hockey, so the Elite League, Premier League and National League for ice hockey in England. I will be mainly backing up my points of analytics, and will make it opinion based on analytics, and I will attempt to be impartial between teams. Now let's talk about the subject at hand, which is, can the Bracknell Bees make the playoffs this season? The Bracknell Bees so far have had 41 games played, with 7 wins, 1 overtime win, 30 losses, 4 overtime losses and 3 shootout losses, with a total of 18 points. They are 7 points away from the Sheffield Steel Dogs. Let's look at how many games in hand Bracknell has yet to play, which is 7. This means that Bracknell has a maximum of 14 points potential between the 22nd to the end of the regular season. Let's also look at how many games Sheffield have in hand to play, which is 7. That means they have the potential of the maximum of 16 points. So how many points would Sheffield have to be assured of being in the playoffs? Well, looks like it would be, after a bit of maths, 7 points, which would be 3 wins and 1 overtime win, as Bracknell has a maximum of 14 point potential, with there being a difference of 7, and that means to get the 7 to 14 it would have to be 7 points. Now, could you state it's easier at the end of the season for to get wins? I do believe so, but only because of the decisions from teams higher up protecting their lead goaltenders and deciding to use their backup goaltenders. Basically, teams are getting ready for the playoffs, and they don't want their lead goaltender to be injured just before the playoffs, and so it's more likely that they'll be using their backup goaltender. This will most likely result in more goals, and therefore more wins for both Sheffield and Bracknell. Let's also look at who Bracknell are playing against, and where I could feel there could be opportunities for Bracknell to get points. First of all, 2 games, home and away, against Telford. Unfortunately, I do not believe Bracknell could get points in these easily. Maybe 1 point at home. I don't think that they will be able to win in regulation versus Telford that easily. Definitely, as they haven't won at regulation against Telford this season at all. Even though Telford did lose a lot of players due to what happened financially. Then they've got Swindon away, which Bracknell did show that they could win against on the 19th, with them having a backup goaltender of Matt Smittle. Swindon was using their main goaltender at the time as well, so that has to be taken in effect. I do believe there could be another win there. Then we got Milton Keynes home, then away. Bracknell has lost every game against them during the regular season, much like Telford, so I do believe that that would be exactly the same as before. Then it would be a tough fought battle and a rather crucial game against Sheffield, because both of them are looking to get into the playoffs. There could be a very small amount of points between them all, and that game could be something that is very hard fought over between both of the teams. Then we have Hull, which, in terms of history of what's been happening on the regular season, could go either way, as Hull's lost 7-2 on the 15th of January, but the Bracknell Bees have lost 6-0 on the 4th of February. Normally against the whole team for Bracknell, whoever is home gets the advantage, as, how do you say this, when Hull comes down to Bracknell, a lot of Hull players don't come, they can't come, it's too far away. It happens with Bracknell as well, and also the travelling does affect a player. So the travel is just so monumental effect that I believe that the home team will be able to get the advantage. And I believe, yes, the Bracknell Bees are the home people for that whole game, which is the final game. Now let's also look at Sheffield, who they are playing against, and where I feel there could be opportunities for Sheffield to get points. First of all, the Swindon team, in which there have been 1 win, 1 loss, 2 overtime losses and 1 shootout loss, including the last loss, which was the last loss since the 22nd for Sheffield, which would be definitely fresh in their mind. Then the Milton Keynes team, which I feel Sheffield has the same predicament as Bracknell there. The Basingstoke team is afterwards, and they have lost every single game in regulation against Basingstoke. Then Telford, which is much like Milton Keynes. Then the crucial game of Bracknell. Then Guildford, which is all losses apart from 1-0 win. Then Hull Pirates, which is the same apart from a 4-1 win. So all of them look to seem to be hard fought games for Sheffield. But remember the thing above where I talked about the backup goaltenders, which will be a large effect to be played. I'm not going to predict the scores of every single one of these games, but from the arguments for both teams, I believe that there can be points for both of them. But could Sheffield get the 7 points they need? Could they get the 3 wins and 1 overtime? Could Bracknell get the 14 points that they need? Getting every single game won? I think it's going to be a hard and dramatic road for Bracknell over this next month. With the 12th, so the 12th of March, being the hardest fought game for Sheffield and Bracknell over this season, as there is a lot at stake for that. But I hope you enjoyed this discussion video. Please do tell me your opinions constructively, either as a Facebook comment, Twitter comment or YouTube comment, and if you feel like my commentary is being both constructive and enjoyable, I do hope that you subscribe to the channel. For next week, I am deciding between 3 different discussions to talk about, which I'll get you guys to vote on with a link on the description of the video. So here are the 3 questions, or the 3 discussion points. Who is the best goaltender in the Premier League? So the English Premier Hockey League. Should the Premier League join the 2-tier system between the Elite League? Or who do you feel would be the best teams from the National League to join the Premier League next season, as there are 2 teams leaving the Premier League this season? Please vote when you have the chance. I hope you guys enjoyed. Do like the video, subscribe and comment. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.